Yeah, that too.
It's like we're in the same room.
But we're not at
We're
all.
not.
No.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Glitchfeed podcast. I'm Sarah and I'm with my friend Troy.
Hi.
Oh, oh,
What?
it just popped up and I heard
Whoop.
myself talking.
Yep, mine
Whoa,
too.
what's
Just a minute.
that game you're playing,
No,
Troy?
nothing yet. Hang on. Oh God, how do I get rid of this? I need to get rid of this.
I'm
Uh,
playing Map Editor.
Where do I? I'm playing Find the Dashboard.
And why,
There we
how
go.
many
Hide
episodes have
video
you been
preview
using your green screen correctly?
of the podcast.
Yeah, is this
Just
the
this
first
is the
one?
first one
Okay.
because I'm streaming and I actually took the time to set shit up. So yeah, background. I
Oh,
was trying to make a background earlier, and then I got sidetracked doing the really shitty thumbnail that we had this week. So
look, that thumbnail's great. I mean, you worked really hard on just putting that heart there, didn't
hey,
ya?
and I put the point .5 next to the PS4, and I had to remake that Xbox One versus PlayStation 4 image because I didn't save it the last time I did it.
Oh, so you made it. Okay,
So I had to remake that. That's what took most
gotcha.
time. It's the same thumbnail I used for a daily glitch like last week.
I know, I saw it.
So we are, as you can tell, playing Factorio, which is a super industry simulation game that I am in fucking love with. So Sarah, thankfully I can talk and play, but Sarah's probably going to be talking a lot more this week. Well,
We'll see.
well, whatever.
We'll see. I could probably go on tangents if you really wanted me to.
Well, we can do well. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, hi guys.
Hi.
How's everyone doing? That's great. I'm
Just
doing great too.
you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for joining
Okay.
us. Well, I mean, no one's in chat yet.
That's
If
fine.
you
Oh,
if
also,
you're
it's
watching
just
this
really just
later,
talking to me. So
thanks for. Oh, hi Troy. How have you been doing?
I'm doing well.
How many hours have you put into Factorio since
Uh,
Saturday?
40 since Sunday, 16 hours. I played like all night the other night. 16 hours is a long time for
I
me,
don't
but
understand how you do it. I like actually enjoy my sleep, which I guess is a hinder for being a workaholic because I come home, relax, and I never game, and I don't stay up late, so I can't game that way.
yeah, this is the
I,
only time I can play games is like late at
I
night. So
used to just like we'll get all sentimental here. I wasn't planning on doing it. College was so nice for gaming.
oh yeah, it
It
is.
was so nice. Like it was so nice for procrastinating, going to hang out in dorms, playing video games. Halo Reach played the shit out of that game. But like now I can't even get through an RPG, like 10 hours through an RPG before I'm just like, meh, I'm really tired. So
Yeah,
it's
sleepiness.
killing me. I know I want to play more games, but I can't.
Crack one.
Not these days. That was Pepsi Max.
Oh,
Cracking.
whatever.
That was 2 weeks ago when I actually played Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I played a drunk stream, which I think was after the podcast.
Uh,
Um, that was interesting. Have you heard about the Stardew Valley? Like
I have. I actually bought it for my
for Sin?
fiance. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has it. I think she's played it a couple times. She has a really crappy laptop right now, so she did not get as much out of it as she would like to. But
Did you ever play
Harvest Moon,
Harvest
yeah,
Moon
I
or
fucking
anything?
love Harvest Moon. Oh, that's bad.
It's the same thing. Essentially, it
Yeah,
adds new
I
things.
heard the what I just watched.
It
The
adds,
zero punctuation on it is like it's Harvest Moon. There's no
but
pussyfooting around. It's just Harvest Moon.
but it's like adult Harvest Moon because they have miscarriages in it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
my friend texted me, actually someone we know texted me. He's like, "So I have this
fuck.
weird thing that happened in this game." And the way he explained it to me, let me actually read this out loud. Shout out to Game Nut, who you know as well,
Oh
one of
yeah.
our Roost
I
friends.
just talked to him today about Factorio actually.
So
Surprisingly.
he basically said a fucked up Stardew Valley story, which I was like, okay, cool. He's like, a few weeks, he was like 90% sure his wife had a miscarriage in the game. Because basically she was pregnant for about a week in the game, and like any of these games, pregnancy like is a season long.
Yeah.
Like you get pregnant for 30
Naturally.
days, you pop the kid out. But then there was a festival, and I guess at the festivals they have fortune tellers, and the fortune teller was like, "There are dark times ahead, but you will persevere." And then she saw a vision, and then she saw a vision of his wife really sad, and him being really serious about something happening. And then literally the next day he went to talk to his wife, and she was just stone silent, dot 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 dot, and she wasn't pregnant anymore.
It's fucking dark, man.
And then it was like a few days later they tried for another baby, and he's like, I wish I had recorded it because it's like, what the fuck just happened? And then she ended up having a baby later. But I was like, I googled it and it's confirmed they have miscarriages in the game.
That's fucked
It's
up,
part of the
man.
game. So,
Did you ever read webcomics back in the day?
yes,
Did you read Control Alt Delete at all?
I think I gandered at it a little bit.
Never
No,
mind.
but
The joke will fail then. Forget it.
okay. I mean, maybe our viewers have.
There's a a very famous webcomic that is has had some controversy in the past, but one of the uh, titular joke issues were when one of the main characters had a miscarriage. I don't know why that's a joke, but that was a thing that happened. And never mind. This is a dumb comment now.
This is a really sad comic too. It's called Loss, and
Oh,
it's basically the guy runs into
that's not what I was talking about.
Okay. You sure? Because it's Control Alt Delete.
Oh, yeah, it's 4 panels long. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
that
called
one.
Loss, and he runs in there.
Yeah.
She points.
Right.
He talks, and she's crying.
Yeah, but people have memeified it a lot, so it gets funnier.
Okay.
I
Okay.
swear. Anyways, so
No, I'm gonna look this up now because apparently there's memes. Oh my God.
yeah, there it is.
It's just the faces.
Yeah, well, the whole joke with Control Alt Delete is that the artist Tim Buckley like only does the same like two faces, so he's not a very
Someone
great
did it with
artist.
Assassin's Creed, and he goes to stab her. Okay.
Yeah, that's a thing.
All right, I got it. Yes, I see it now.
Okay.
That's funny. Okay. That's really
Anyways.
sad. I'm glad we talked about that. So, moving on from Miscarriage,
Yeah.
it's a good game. If I know a lot of people have been lamenting that Harvest Moon which is one of the only games that is like farming simulator, and it's just simple setting. It didn't come to PC, and it finally did. And a lot of articles are like, why it's so successful, and I'm like, because fucking Harvest Moon rocks. That's why.
It does
And
rock.
people are. It's so fun. And we're kind of talking about this before the podcast too with you. One of those simple games where you sit down. It's very long, drawn out. Like I remember, I think it was Carrie Shawcross was like, "How do I learn how to play this game?" And I'm like, "You don't. You just sit and play for 10 hours, and it's only like spring. It's almost summer one. It's the first summer after 10 hours, and you're like, well, I made a good amount of money. Let's go buy more plants.
Yeah, now
seeds,
now I'm a
stuff."
goddamn mogul.
Yeah. And I made 100,000 gold. I am really fucking rich now. Let's go
Rolling in the bank.
scavenge more bamboo shoots.
Yeah.
Which is what I did the entire time before my seeds grew. But I mean, it's one of those games kind of like Factorio, kind of like Prison Architect, which is very slow, patient. The reward is building, and I think it does a lot better compared to like the job simulator games that are currently out now, where it's like bus simulator. I'm driving around in the bus because
And then you get better
kind
buses
of-
and shit. It's,
yeah, you get better buses. And in terms of these like kind of flat point and click type things, is that it's so simple that you can kind of really explore. I guess like Minecraft. Minecraft is like the next step of open world, the fruit of your labor. You feel really good about it, and you're willing to do that repetitive. Water my crops. Pull out the plants. Go talk to this person. I need to romance her by giving her wine because she's a drunk. And good old Karen. But it's doing really well because a lot of people love that game or played it on the Nintendo 64 or whatever, and now it's accessible on Steam.
Yeah.
And it's accessible for a really good price. So
yeah, it's only like $20 or something, isn't it?
yeah, really cheap. I would definitely endorse it without them asking me to. I mean, if you're interested in it, it's very subtle, it's very slow and gradual, but you really feel rewarded
Sounds
as you
good.
continue to go through. So, I mean, we both play Harvest Moon, so we know
Yeah.
how nice it is. So.
Yeah, I'm huge. I was a huge Harvest Moon fan. In fact, I have a funny side story.
Okay, go ahead.
It has nothing to do. Well, it has everything to do with Harvest Moon. So I was at a bachelor party the other weekend in Montreal, and one of the guys, the groom's one of the groom's brothers, I think, or someone friend of his, brought his laptop with like every classic emulator on it, with every single game loaded for the systems, and actual controllers to play on that were USB. A whole fucking setup. He's a total nerd. And we're scrolling through the games for the 64, and this is like a room full of like very macho guys that were all
Bros.
about to bros, really bros,
Sure.
about to play like Mario Kart. He scrolls and he goes to he scrolls over Harvest Moon, and I look up from the beer or whatever. I'm like, ooh, Harvest Moon, and I'm like, did that come out loud? Because everyone gave me shit for the rest of the weekend because I loved Harvest Moon. I was very excited about this farming game. Everyone's like, I don't get
Sorry.
it. What's the deal? Like it's just a farm. You just farm. That's the whole game. And they're like, sounds dumb. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the best game in the world.
So are you gonna play it?
Stardew?
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. It's
What?
kind of deep on the list right now of games to play. But eventually I will. Probably the summer before shit kicks off. I'll be playing that.
It is a pretty tame summer.
It
It's actually
is.
tame. It's pretty tame right now. There's a few like big games, but like I kind of was anticipating Hyrule Warriors that I was gonna pick it
Yeah,
up
I
this
saw
week.
you
I'm
kind of
not.
kind of bummed
No.
out on it.
Well, I saw one review, and that
Oh.
review was enough for me to say maybe I should hold off. Apparently, and it makes sense. So Harvest Moon, or not Harvest Moon, Hyrule Warriors or Dynasty Warriors, and this happens a lot with a lot of the games. The more characters you get on there, you're going to see a lot of frame rate drop. So
Sure.
it's like if you see, and I said rape, frame rate drop. You're going to see like 50 enemies on there, and suddenly it's going to be really stuttery. Apparently, the 2DS and the 3DS, the old one, they're not up to snuff to play that game. It's
Yeah.
one of those kind of made for the new
I
3DS.
thought it
Like I
was
could,
a new 3DS only game, or am I making that up?
no, it's not.
Okay.
So I may be jumping ship to new 3DS eventually, depending on the
Yeah.
games that are coming out. Not right now, but I think I held off for about a year and a half. I could probably hold off for a while on that game still. Like I don't need to get it. I would rather wait and enjoy it on the new system than have to deal with seeing all these enemies and ruining my experience
Sure.
on the old system. So
Sure.
I'm a little bummed about it, but if I really wanted to, I could just borrow someone's Wii U and play it over a weekend if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I think all the DLC is going to cross on both of them. So,
Whoops.
but you have the new 3DS, so are you going to maybe pick it up eventually?
It's another one. That one is on my list after Fire Emblem. I think is what I said the other week too. Like I need to get through Fire Emblem, and then once
All
I
three.
do, yeah, all three of them, then I can move on to another handheld game. I don't play handheld games like I play console. I have to have I have to move on from one to one to one.
Have you been traveling recently?
I have not. That's been my problem. That's why I haven't been able
Yeah, I
to
was about
play.
to say, I know that that's kind of your big thing is when you travel is usually when you pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'll probably play a
Well,
bunch of it when
yeah.
I'm driving.
Yeah, there you go. Are you?
Maybe if I don't get motion sick.
No, you'll be fine. Just turn the thing I found for motion sickness is you turn the 3D on all the way and you stare at it an inch from your face, and you won't get sick ever. That's sarcasm. That was sarcasm.
I get that. Yeah, no, I gave a look. I don't know why
I'm looking
my
at the game.
camera keeps skipping, but yeah, no, I still am at the same spot. I haven't really been playing recently. I need to pick it back up again.
Yeah.
I got overwhelmed by the classes, and I need to just get over it and just play and just keep doing master classes and not worry about min and maxing, especially in the first game.
Hey, can we do a technical thing real quick?
What's up?
Can you hang up and call me?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm doing both and it's roboting you down.
It was my connection.
It's fine. Well, it's because I'm hosting the call in the thing. It's all right.
No, it was okay. Well,
See, now it's much better.
okay. So, yeah, so that happened. Let's kind of move on to some other news. I guess we're on the topic of Nintendo and the Wii U and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. A rumor came out, and
It's actually
it was kind of
published.
interesting. Yeah, it was like published on a
Japanese newspaper,
Uh,
Nikkei.
yeah, Nikkei, and that's why I actually dropped this news in Gamer News, and I was like looking around. I was like, this seems like a rumor because I don't really understand what's going on. My connection is
Whatever. We'll deal with it.
hiccuping. And apparently, rumor came out that basically Nintendo was going to stop production of the Wii U by the end of the year, which is a reasonable
Assumption, given that.
assumption. Production, it's not. It's going to stop selling. The NX is releasing at the end of the year, so the whole thing was. It's like, hey, this is going to stop production. It doesn't mean that we're going to see Wii U's off the shelves. Also, considering how fast Wii U's are selling, most likely Wii U's, if they stop production today, would be on sale 3 years from now and it'd be new out of box or in box. So it was one of those things where it's just like, hey, this is happening. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. I mean, sure, why not? It doesn't seem unreasonable. And then, did you read the Nintendo response?
I did. I read what the translated version of it was from Google Translate because it was to
What
a
was it?
Japanese paper. But it's basically that. I actually have the quote right here. Hang on, let me just do this. It was basically that quote: "This isn't an announcement from our company. From the next quarter and thereafter as well, production of the Wii U is scheduled to continue."
It's near the end of the year for Japan too. I know that.
What is?
Like it's their end of their fiscal years, the end of this month.
Yes, for the most part. It
So
is the end of a fiscal month, yeah,
what? I think it's their
or
year.
their fiscal year rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, I could, like I said, I could see them stopping production. I thought it was weird because the statement said that Nintendo claims that they were halting production for like not as popular consoles
Mm-hmm.
so that they could make room for new consoles. And it's just like it was a little weird. It also was not confirmed or denied by Nintendo at the point I saw it.
Yeah,
So it
they
was
hadn't responded by the time everyone posted their articles on it, but it came pretty quick that they are not stopping, or they are not halting production, at least officially not halting production. Um, yeah, I think we'll have to see what happens at E3. I think if E3 comes out and they drop the NX, or sometime around then we can have a different discussion of maybe they will stop production, but I don't think they'll stop it by the end of the year. I don't see the NX being out. I don't know. I say I don't
do
see
you
the NX being out by the end of the year, but
do you think, I mean, well, they're basing that on the little employee. It was like, hey, here's all this stuff that's releasing, and they got Pokemon right.
right.
Um, do you think that this year's E3 is going to be that crazy for Nintendo? Because it's going to be another, most likely, extended Nintendo Direct,
Yeah,
unless
I
they
think
changed it.
that'll be, unless they actually show up and do a thing, which if
Yeah.
they're releasing hardware they might, because they want physical presence there. But I don't know. I think it's time for them to release the NX. I think it's time for them to announce it at the very least.
Oh, did you see those leaks of the NX controller?
I did, but I'm really skeptical that those are anything.
I
There's
saw tweets about it. I saw tweets about it where it's basically a long, kind of like oblong shaped, ape shaped controller that has the camera on the controller, but it's like a phone. It's not really,
the whole
or the
controller
whole
is a
screen.
screen. Yeah, and there were
I
like
don't,
thumbnails or thumbsticks in the middle of like the sides of it.
but the
Uh,
thing is the issue is that the entire screen is not like a square.
yeah,
It's like the entire screen, which the thumbnails then are blocking portions of the screen.
no, the shape of the device is a weird. It's not a square, so it's not like a regular aspect ratio image. It's
Yes,
like
yes.
a long oval, like a
The
thin
only way I
oval.
could see that working is if like it was Star Fox and it was like the kind of like how they were originally going to use the Wii U controller is that it was like, hey, here's a first person view out of the cockpit, which is very specifically for this game, which makes
Maybe
sense for the spherical. Did you just A when I said cockpit?
no,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I did not.
I was surprised you missed that one.
No, I heard it.
Maybe,
I'm being professional and didn't say anything.
well, no, I thought you intentionally said that. Whatever.
No.
Anyway, I think it's one of those things that kind of made it seem very strange and didn't really make sense. But it was meme bait, and a lot of people made memes about it. So
Yes.
it looked very strange.
Um, yeah, I don't see that working at all. For two reasons. One, I need a controller with buttons. I've been playing on my phone a game that is originally a handheld game that I'm used to playing with handheld buttons. Like an actual input.
What game?
It's a game. I will not say.
Why won't you say?
Because I'm not doing
Are you
it. I'm
embarrassed?
not doing it as someone would say legally. Um,
Oh,
so
So let's just say Legend of Zelda.
It is actually Legend of Zelda.
Is it really?
Yeah,
The original.
Oracle of Ages. The Oracle games for the Game Boy Color. Anyways, moral of the
I
story.
have. You would also get those on the 3DS now.
You can, but I don't want to take the 3DS into the shitter with me.
Okay.
So.
I'd rather take my phone, which I put to my face every day.
Yeah, actually, somehow, for whatever reason, yes, you are right.
I was
It is
totally just
exactly
saying
the
like
case.
Legend of Zelda. I'm sorry, I just
Blew up
spoiled
my
it for
spot.
us.
Yeah, I
But
know.
you're like,
Dick.
yeah, you know. So you're probably one of the few people that actually like Oracle of Ages.
Well, yeah, I love the Oracle games on Color. I played the shit out of them. Those were like the big games on Game Boy. Anyways, okay, here's the problem. When you're sliding your hand around a touchscreen, you don't have the tactile response of buttons that you need. Like the phone is made for like touch-based games, not buttons, not A's and B's and control sticks and thumb pads. So the issue with the NX controller that we saw is all of the buttons, the A, the B, X and Y, and all that are on the touch screen rather than, physical buttons. And that's a huge issue if that's going to be the next console for Nintendo, at least in my opinion. That will suck.
It is interesting, though, kind of to speculate based on the big failure of the Wii U and the whole controller slash second screen slash supplementary, use of it that they didn't really promote, that if they are pursuing that controller does more than just walk around type thing, it's going to be very interesting to see how they promote it this time around, how they're going to showcase that. Maybe that's why they're doing a lot of like this secretive NX development internally, because they're creating a lot of games around that if they go that route. So it's very clear this time, both to them and to developers. I haven't really heard a lot of rumblings of developers outside of Nintendo either saying.
True.
They always say it'd be interesting to see what Nintendo has, but a lot of people, because Nintendo's always been on that island of not just Japan, but of their whole...
Nintendo's always been on that island. I don't know, we nuked it once Japan, in World War II, but...
Yeah, like Japan, where it's like, they have their own games, and they're very good with the exclusive. Like, if they did not have such great IPs, they would be screwed, because not a lot of other developers want to get on the Nintendo system. But because they have Kirby and Zelda and Mario, and they don't screw it up too much outside of Kirby, well, I think that's kind of kept them afloat, because they've always been kind of like industry leaders. They've been able to carve out their own niche and do it very well on their own, because it's Nintendo and they are in some senses an old company. I guess old being like original. They can afford themselves the luxury of of sticking to their roots, I guess, if you will. I don't know. And they are one of the only developers that really kind of have that identity. Even though it's a childish identity and it's family-friendly identity, PlayStation, Xbox, they're starting their lines, as we'll probably segue in just a second, their lines are starting to blur together. And Nintendo is always standing independent and succeeding that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Speaking of blurred lines with Nintendo and Xbox, who all but are able to play the same games together because their exclusive games are not really that numerous.
That was a weird segue. Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying the blurred lines of Nintendo
you just said Xbox. You just said it really weird.
I did. Well, I was.
You tried.
I was basically saying so. Personally,
Xbox last week, announced I think that was at GDC. Now that I'm saying this to myself.
Yes.
Was it
most
at
likely.
GDC?
Was this the whole crossplay?
Yeah, we're going cross-platform now.
Yeah, it was during GDC. I don't know when. It was during GDC was going on.
While it was going on, Xbox announced that they are putting into their Xbox Live framework, I guess, or however you want to say it, the ability for allowing cross-platform play between other consoles and PCs. They have already obviously been working on this for PC, as like Killer Instinct and the now dead Fable Legends were supposed to be cross-platform with PC.
And PlayStation has kind of been doing cross-platform as well in
Between them
home
and PC, with just Rocket League, I think, is
Rocket
the
League.
only title that has
Well, not
that.
yeah, that's it.
But
That has its own dedication, and that's probably because Rocket League themselves set it up.
probably, maybe, I have no
The
idea.
servers, it's probably their server side, not
Couldn't tell you.
yeah. I don't know.
But Xbox, when, for example, Rocket League was released, it was only multiplayer was only between the Xbox One player base. Now that will be up to developers to implement on their own side, but Xbox will, I guess, open the door for cross-platform play, which is a big move, really, when you think about it from a console perspective. It's kind of the end of this old console war idea that the two consoles can never get along, because it was the old Nintendo versus Sega or what have you. So this is a very kind of big thing for Nintendo to start doing, I think. Or not Nintendo, fuck. Xbox. Microsoft, Troy. Microsoft.
And I mean, both are kind of being, at least publicly, pretty fine with it. Like they're like, yeah, we want to increase player base. We want to open up the game experience up across all platforms, and if that means, cross-platform, that's fine. Like they're not sitting there and making it mandatory, but I mean, what do they have to lose by saying, and I don't think they ever did really say it, but by saying, hey, if you guys want to set it up so they interact with each other, that's fine.
Yeah, it's essentially how Xbox put it. Is like, we're not going to do it, but developers, if they want to do it, now have the ability to. We're not going to shut that door for them. So again, it's up to developers to implement their own cross-platform multiplayer if they want it. But Sony kind of had an interesting response to it. They were kind of wishy-washy on whether they would support it. I think even they claimed, well, it's up to the developers. It's really not our place to comment on this. But if that's what Microsoft wants to do, then great. Which was interesting because it kind of sounded like, well, all right, well, they're doing it, so okay, fine, we'll do it too, or what have you. So
It sounds like they didn't really communicate. Microsoft's like, hey, we're doing this.
yeah, no, Microsoft just kind of decided to do it. I think that's definitely what happened, and then now Sony's kind of going, oh, well, all right, sure, you can do that on our system or with our systems.
Which is interesting because Sony, at least through the PC, permitted it with Rocket League.
Right. So
And it works.
yeah, so people know how to do it on the PlayStation space. It's more just like how they do it, I think.
And it's obviously going to be pretty heavy on the developer side because they're going to have to do the dedicated servers and make sure the servers play nice and kind of how they set up the game, and they need to make sure that it covers the way. I guess the big question is it's not to PC, but more just how PlayStation and Xbox communicate because they clearly have their own communication techniques,
Right.
system-wise. But I think it's not really, in my mind, it's not a bad thing to go through, once again, because in my personal opinion, consoles are becoming very obscure in terms of which is better than the other one. Yes, PlayStation has some better tech than Xbox, but Xbox has a few better IPs that are exclusive for the system. This is only going to basically say, hey, this game is coming out. I actually want to play it because my friends have the game. I can get it on my system. I can play with more people. I don't think it's really going to hurt either of them if someone says, hey, my game's already releasing on all three systems. I just want people to play with each other.
Right.
So I don't think I think it's kind of like we're maturing into the whole high school play nice atmosphere of gaming. It's like we already have 4 generations. Now we're ready to start not being total rivalry because consoles, they kind of need.
They do.
They need it because PC is really starting to step up.
They do. I think, and especially in the last couple of years with
Yeah.
the improvements in PC gaming and kind of the slow, not necessarily slow, but slower nature of console gaming. They need to kind of step up and realize that they can't. They have to tear down some of these walls and play nice a little bit. Just play nice with everybody, It's all good. It's all good vibes. It's all good vibes.
And I think too a big issue is PC. A big excuse is like wait till you mod things and modding.
Right.
I think that might be why we're seeing modding coming to games, which will be interesting.
To
like
console, you mean?
yeah, to
Yeah.
consoles. Sorry, like
Yeah.
for Fallout 4, modding is coming to consoles because a big argument, especially for games like that, is like just wait for it to mod. Even
Yeah.
games like Stardew Valley, people are like, I created these cool new mods for the character images, so the character images look better.
I made
But
all the
fishing
girls into
sucks.
ponies.
Yes. So, or I want to play Supergirl in Fallout or all naked mod or whatever. Um, that is a huge feature that basically PC players argue. They're like, I want to get it on PC for modding.
Right. I want the freedom of being able to play it how I want to play it, and mod and change my visuals and.
Yeah, despite the fact that usually consoles come out better in terms in the start, like because their quality is better,
It's
people
not
are
even
like,
that.
oh,
It's that developers primarily develop for console games. I think that's been the interesting part of. Oh, that's where you're seeing all these optimization issues or botched launches. Is that they're building the game for console, not for PC, and then they shoehorn PC support onto it.
sometimes 2 years later.
Sometimes 2 years. Sorry, I was taking bad
But no,
time to take a sip, I guess.
uh,
Yeah, sometimes 2 years later, or sometimes they try and do it at launch and it fails, and they have to pull the game from the
Batman.
store. Batman, thank you.
Awkward. But it's something that being now part of both systems. And Troy, I think I had this conversation with you in terms of where we're going to buy Assassin's Creed, which system are you going to buy Fallout on?
Right.
And I think you actually did tell me, or a bunch of people told me, buy it on PC for mods. Not gonna lie, I bought it on PC. Still haven't done any modding. I don't even know how to mod in the
On
game.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Well, we're still early for Fallout modding. I mean, it's kind of grassroots right now. Once Creation Kit happens, then you will like look at Skyrim. Like Skyrim when it first came out, yeah, you had a couple mods, but once workshop support, it's all over. That was modding
So
was
so
the
when
king.
the support comes out and people start releasing high quality renders of the game, like
Well, it's not.
HD.
It's new. It's extra content when they can actually
Right.
add items and weapons and
Well, no,
models and stuff to the
no.
game.
But specifically, like there are mods. Someone's like, I just mod in Skyrim to make it look pretty because
That's too
there's people that
EBS
just
mods.
create
Yeah,
that. So did you do? Are you gonna do that when?
I'm not a big visual guy like that. No.
But you have a new card that
I
you
do
just
have a
got.
new video card that keeps giving me issues lately, but
Really?
that's
Oh, that
neither here nor
was
there.
yeah. We had that talk about GTA. It's just too good for GTA.
No, that was actually that ended up being an Xbox controller, a Windows 10 issue. Um,
Oh,
that one, yeah.
good old Windows
Oh,
10.
Windows 10, fucking my shit up.
Um,
Anyways,
so kind of going back to the whole GDC thing, something interesting happened post GDC. I don't know if you were aware of it. One of the BioWare like senior designers tweeted out, he's like, "Hey, I had a lot of fun at GDC this week. It also was really cool to walk around with my IP on my shirt and no one looked like batted an eye." And everyone's like, "Wait, what? BioWare new IP was teased at GDC on this guy's shirt?
nobody said anything about it.
No one's found it yet."
Well, no one
Like
probably
they
has a
keep,
picture. Either he was
oh
an
my
asshole
God.
and wasn't actually wearing it, or he was very good
Yeah,
about hiding his shirt.
I think they announced it maybe like 2 days ago, and so people are like, "Hey, here's the Bioware forums." Not that busy, but people were like scrambling to find a picture of a bald guy with an obscure shirt and try to figure it
Oh, trying
out.
to find a bald guy at a gaming convention? Yeah, that must have been
Yeah,
difficult.
and so like one of them was a shirt, and then they're like, "This is a hoax." They confirmed that it actually is from last year's GDC, and it's like a picture of a circle with a man on it, and everyone's
Oh.
like, "You're so dumb." So no one's discovered what it is
It's
yet, and he
just
hasn't
it's just a
really.
normal T-shirt. Like it's
It
just like, oh, I wore my IP on it. It's like an American Eagle button
it's like a
down.
circle with a square in it, and it's like, "Hey guys, I'm teasing the new IP.
It's an
It's really
arcade.
cool."
It's just the Arcade Fire cover.
So it was just it kind of threw everyone for a loop. Like the internet flipped out because he didn't say anything until after, and everyone's like, "Do I have? Here's all my pictures I took. They're of crowds. See if you can find anyone in the crowd that matches him." And it's
I
just
took
like
400 creep shots of this girl. See if you can find the guy's shirt in it.
that's what it was. So that happened, and a lot of people were just thrown a fit because BioWare apparently has a new IP coming out that everyone's
Of
all
course,
upset about. So
of course they are. I
of
mean, they're not upset
course
about it. They're obsessing about it.
they're obsessing about it. Uh,
Oh my god, I love this
I'm
game.
curious. 34 minutes. Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess so.
it's been a while.
So why don't we talk a little bit about Factorio right now and
Yeah.
kind of like what this game is.
All right.
And I'll let you jump into it, but kind of the precursor it's been out for about 5 years.
It hasn't been out that long. 5 years.
It's been out for a while. You're looking it up right now for me?
You can hear my tapping.
Okay. Yeah, you sound like me. I was a little confused. I thought I was typing. So it's been out for a while, and for some reason, a lot of streamers have just been picking it up
It
again. Like
just
it just
released. It
exploded.
just actually
Okay.
released
So it was a
this
release.
week.
Okay. I wasn't, I thought so because I was like, it's
Officially released this week.
okay. Yeah, because
Uh,
I know like someone big like Sevidus
wow.
loves it
Yeah,
and has been
4 years. Look at that. Here we
Mhm.
are.
Whoa.
10/24/12.
Yeah.
I don't know when. Oh, Factorio point 2 version. So the alpha version was in January of 13.
Yeah.
Wow. All
So
right.
so people have been playing it a little bit, but it's exploded this week because obviously of the launch.
Yep.
Everyone now has access to it. It's no longer early access, which means people are actually going to spend money now because people hate spending money on early access games.
Yes.
But Troy, why don't we kind of do a little pitch? Why don't you explain to our viewers exactly what this game is and why you are enjoying it so much?
Well, if you can't tell yet, it's basically an industry simulator. You start out with just your hands, and you can mine your iron and mine your coal. It's kind of like the resource version of, excuse me, of Minecraft and that kind of those kind of crafting games. But what it does allow you to do, you can kind of see it a little bit here, is you get into this kind of industry simulation where I'm going to fix that. Where you can get belts and you can grab. I'm about to start setting up the automation stuff in just a second, but you can automate your entire factory and automate all of your crafting. So in a second here, I'm just going to pick all this up. I'm working towards building this automation science thing, which hopefully I can get to by the end of the stream. That'll let me build these items, which I can craft by hand, automatically for me and dump them into a chest and stuff. It's very That's the tech tree. It's very complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of customization, a lot of optimization, as a factory planner would, a logistics planner would actually do.
They're enemies too, right? You have to
There
defend your
are
base.
these red things right here are hives of fucking assholes, is what they are, and they will fuck your shit up. There, it is, as far as I can tell, permadeath. When you die, you are fucking done, and you lose everything you've done. So the other night, I was playing for about 5 hours straight, and all of a sudden had a swarm of the red guys pop up and got past my turrets and swarmed me, and I died. And that was 5 hours. 5 hours of my life I will never get back.
Did you not save it?
I saved it like 3 hours in, so I lost about an hour and a half, 2 hours of my life. No, I lost more than that, like 3 hours. No, I wasn't smart, Sarah. Okay, so what you want to hear?
I've
It's
done that,
dumb.
and like I'm surprised you're still playing. That's usually when I rage quit and put down the game for 2 months and never play again, which is actually what happened in Fallout.
Put it
So
down for a couple. I put it down for maybe a day before I wanted to play again.
don't
This
lie.
is.
It was maybe an hour. Maybe you went to bed
I
and
went
woke
to
up
bed. That's
like
exactly what
I'm
happened.
ready.
No, but this game totally triggers my kind of
Obsessive compulsive
factory
organization.
planning, yeah, organization things like setting up the optimal, like this conveyor belt thing. Oh, yeah, this is done. Hang on. Setting up these conveyor belts to face a certain way so that coal goes on both sides of it, so it stacks up neater. So yeah, like it's a solid stack rather than just one side. It's very finicky, and I love it so much. I absolutely love it. But yeah, it's a very not tedious, but very organization kind of game, and figuring out how to set your factories up so that they can grab the resources that they need from the conveyor belts and from each other to create, your bigger items. I'm gonna hopefully be able to do that in just a second here. I think I have enough to do everything. Yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna try and automate science. So what I need to do is get the pieces here, so the copper plates and the gear wheels. I can make the gear wheels from iron plates. So I have to get iron and copper to the same spot to grab it to build off of these little automation things. So I don't know. It's kind of. Are you even alive?
I'm listening.
Oh, I looked over the camera and you just haven't been moving.
Well, my camera keeps freezing too.
Oh, you should get a better internet.
I don't pay for my internet, so it's fine.
Get betters. Get better net.
I don't pay for my internet, so it's fine.
Why don't you get some better net?
'Cause
So
it's my roommate's internet.
yeah, that's you're still calling them that.
No. No, I don't.
It's her
Okay,
parents,
so
by the way, if anyone's wondering what the little playfulness banter we're having going on.
I don't know. My internet's just been shitty lately. I think it's Time Warner just wants to be a bitch
That's
today.
probably not surprising.
Because usually I'm not even hosting a stream right now. I'm hosting our chat, and it's
They're
just
hosting, yeah,
being
just our phone call, I
obnoxious.
think,
So
is it?
maybe
So,
they're downloading porn downstairs, my roommates.
probably. Old pervs.
So is that all you've been playing the past few days? What'd you play before
The
Factorio?
Division! I bought The Division. Um, and I love that game too. And it's pretty awesome. It's I think the
Have
concerns
you
that
done
other people.
Endgame?
What?
Have you done Endgame yet? Have you gotten to the
Oh
end?
god, I'm not even that far into it.
Right.
I got sucked into this game. I understand a lot of the people's concerns with it. I can see where they might have issues with kind of the missions. I can already tell are going to get a little bit repetitive. But if that's not an issue for you, then I think it's a great game. I think it's fun. I actually really enjoy it. But I can see
I
why people
think
might not.
I think it's kind of has the same issues that Destiny had
Yes.
when
Oh
it
yeah. I
first
can
started,
exactly.
where it's like everyone rushes through and it's a great game. They love the side missions, they love whatever. It's MMO, it's got more MMO features, but they expect more out of it.
Hmm.
And they hit the end game, they hit the wall where it's like, okay, congrats, you're level 30. Now you just can explore the dark zone, which is the same thing. Like there's no continuous rewards at this time.
Right.
And I didn't play it, so I'm not sure how long it takes, but it sounds like it's about 30 hours until they get to that point, and it's this, so that's kind of short. So the big question is the what's next. And people don't like waiting for the what's next because some people come in from like WoW where they expect a lot bigger end game, and some people are coming from Destiny where they're like, we had this online multiplayer that's basically Halo multiplayer. And they come to Destiny and they're like, okay, I did it. What am I supposed to do now?
Right.
And so a lot of the concerns have been it's a great game, but it's not really replayable because it's the same exact path before. It's not really anything too crazy. And so they're kind of waiting for that what next,
Sure.
which is DLC. Who knows how they're going to do it? I mean, it's Tom Clancy Division. So I don't know if they're probably not going to do like Destiny style of giant updates or whatever. I
Well,
doubt
no,
it.
I could actually see them doing that. Like
Think.
adding raid content into the game would be pretty simple with how it's set up. You just kind of, a new faction pops up or whatever, and that's going to be the
Oh, they did
the next
a
raid. I mean,
Dark Zone update.
they did. Yeah, the current update now, I think, apparently added a bunch of kind of not quality of life, but those sorts of.
Would soon be receiving new changes and have hinted past the Dark Zone tweaking apart. Balancing issues. The news will be in tomorrow's update, first major patch. Um, so I mean, it's just one of those things where I think people always want more out of a game, and they expect certain things, and they come into it and they're just disappointed. And so you have someone like Troy who's sitting there that's genuinely enjoying it because we've kind of become bitter about the industry and we don't expect anything, which is how you kind of need to approach a games because a game's never going to live up to your expectations.
No.
Enjoy that reality check, kids.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do. Look at something as simple as GTA Heist.
God.
Heist, I mean, it doesn't help that they waited a year and a half, but people were building up the heist idea. We saw things like people making their own heist and how fun it could be and all these opportunities. And then they came out and people are like, oh,
Meh.
you know,
They're all right.
even things something as like simple as like Stardew Valley. I play it and I'm like, wow, this is really repetitive to other games, and I like it, but it's like, I don't know if I was expecting something different, something
Sure.
unique about it. But it's this kind of like it's really jaded, but it's like expect the worst or expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. And that's how people need to approach the game industry because people are expecting so much and they think that they deserve so much and they're entitled to so much, and a game can only be developed so well before it's released.
Right.
And
It's kind of like how
nothing's
you
gonna
view
be-
men.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
got her.
It's true. It's true. I'm so jaded from my past experiences and letdowns.
That's what you don't have to talk about me that way.
I know.
I'm right here.
I can't wait to see you.
I know.
30 days, less than 30 days.
It'll be fun.
I need to pay you. I promise I will.
That is something else we have to talk about.
We had to talk about it. Want to talk about it on stream? No, thanks.
No, not on stream.
So you've been playing The Division.
Playing the Division, playing this, and playing Fire Emblem. That's really kind of the core of my life right now. between that and work and normal adult things.
Yeah.
Like, but what
Um,
about you? What have you been up to?
I played Hitman.
Really?
It came out and I waited a week to play it because I was busy.
Naturally.
Um,
What do you think?
I mean,
uh, that's always a good sign.
it's the first Hitman I've ever played. I
Oh,
was
that's right. You
impressed.
never played Hitman
Yeah,
before.
and so people were in chat were like, "Oh, I wish it was like this stuff." I didn't think about that. Once again, not really in there. Came from things like Assassin's Creed. I was very interested in the scope of the area, and
Hmm.
of course, it didn't help that the first area you unlocked was the Paris show, which was essentially the same thing they saw in all the trailers.
Yeah, that was all the trailers and
So
demos and shit, right?
I say meh because it's like I've already seen it. It was cool because I explored areas they haven't seen. I liked the hints because I had never played it before, so I'm not smart enough to go around and like try to figure things out. But I ended up basically because I suck at this game and I kept getting caught. I ended up just poisoning people until they went and puked in the bathroom and then drowning them in the toilet 3 times.
It's awesome though.
Three
Like
three targets at 3 times.
that's like a cool way to play though. Like I really like that idea. Like it's
Yeah. It's interesting because in the showstopper you have to kill 2 people and there are multiple choices you can do to kill them.
yeah.
Like even not part of the showstopper, like they gave me 5 options of basically unlockables. Like you do this, you get an achievement, or you could basically do what they showed on the trailer and you could cut the rope and have the glass chandelier kill him.
Yeah.
Like you do all this other stuff that's not even a part of it. And they introduced like basically to tide people over between each of the episodes, basically weekly downloadable content or online content, which adds unique twists to the game. So one of them might be a exclusive target, which you literally have one shot to kill him, and you have to kill him in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's it for that challenge.
And if you like, you don't want to fail because if you continue to do those challenges and succeed, you're going to get in-game content like cool costumes and stuff
Yeah.
that you only get from that process. Another one that they released last week, which I haven't checked out yet, is escalation contracts, where it's basically you start the contract, they ask you to kill someone, and then halfway through, it's like, hey, you now have to do this, and it gets harder, and you have to dress this way, and you have to do them this way, and it's like then you have to escape this way, and it's gradually escalating the contract in the same area, but it's kind of the idea of let's force you to try this different path on how you kill him.
Right.
And I'm sure eventually, as I play and gradually watch and observe, I learn, oh, well, he's going to be in this area
Yeah,
at this
you end
point.
up
He's
learning
gonna go
the
there.
the patterns
Yeah,
and everything.
exactly. And so it seems very interesting, and it does, I think, have that replayability, but you have to be patient.
Sure.
And that's the big thing I think a lot of people might struggle with, especially if they're new to the franchise, is
Or
that
new to the concept of being patient.
yeah, like I mean, it's not Assassin's Creed, which I'm coming from. It's not a run through, kill everyone, then escape everything. It's a very gradual, patient. You walk by, suddenly you hear this conversation. They're talking about this, and that's like, oh, this girl's going to do this. They are also pissed too. Let's follow her and see what she's doing. Like they have multiple interactive people that kind of give you those hints that you can observe, and some of them will actually trigger paths, and some of them will be maybe I should follow to see what happens myself.
Yeah.
and and each level also has like 40 objectives you can unlock, and unlocking objectives gives you more perks to start the level over again. So like I unlocked like 10 objectives, or I completed 10 objectives my first time through, which now unlocked I could start off as a bellboy, like in the
Oh yeah,
building.
so you don't
So
have to worry about finding and killing a bellboy to get his outfit.
right, and so that was interesting too because once again it's the same map, but suddenly you're starting here. So then you can focus, oh, I'm here. How about I focus on this path instead?
Right.
So, and it's a big map too, which is really interesting.
Hmm.
So, we'll see. I think it's one of those games I would probably gradually pick up. It's not a game I would keep binging through just because I'm not used to it.
Right.
But it is, like I said, I wish Assassin's Creed was like that.
The freedom of it.
Well, the freedom of it and just the Assassin's Creed is run and kill this guy. Instead, it's like, hey, this guy's here. You need to find a unique way to do it, and really stealth is key. And it'd be interesting to see a mix of the two.
Sure.
So, I also played Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah.
Have you played? Did you play that game?
I never played Day of the Tentacle. I was never a huge like point and click adventure fan, as I found out while playing Grim Fandango.
Who's the guy? Tim Schafer does a great job in Day of the Tentacle.
He
If you
does.
didn't know, Tim Schafer wrote Day of the Tentacle back in 1993.
Yeah, he also wrote Grim Fandango.
Everything in LucasArts.
Yeah.
Basically, he was part of that team. I loved it.
Yeah.
I had a shit-eaten grin the whole time I was playing that game because I played that game all the time. I told my dad about it. My dad's like, remember when we used to play that all the time? I'm like, I don't remember actually like who I played it with, but I literally knew what to do the entire game, except for one part, and I called it. Like I walked to the stream and I was like, God damn that fucking horse. I'm not gonna remember how to get his teeth. It's gonna get me every time. And I called it. I got to the horse and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I knew how to do the rest of it. I knew where to grab everything. I picked everything up ahead of time. Got to that fucking horse and I'm like, I think I need George Washington's teeth. I have to trade the teeth out. That's how I do it. That's what you're supposed to do. And someone's like, no, you're supposed to make him fall asleep. And I'm like, God damn it. I was like, how dare you forget this? I could probably speed run that game if I really wanted to.
If it weren't
such
for
a
that.
good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for that catch up. But it was really good. It was the upgrade to the graphics was really nice because they let you switch. It was kind of like how Halo, the first Halo felt on the new remaster. What was it called? Halo.
Anniversary.
Yeah,
whatever.
the anniversary edition, but like 200 times better than that. Like it was like a cartoon cell shading versus very obscure pixel art. Like I want to replay it to play old school version, probably with my dad watching, because my dad loves that game too. But I think they did a great job with the controller and everything because it was on PlayStation. I think it was worth it. I think it was. I love it. It's nostalgia, plus it took about 3 hours to play it. Probably takes longer if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's my. I
Yeah.
don't have the patience for those kind of games.
But it's just it's good humor. It's kind of like Psychonauts humor.
Yeah.
Just lots of really funny, stupid humor. So I was glad I picked that up. And then otherwise, we played GTA. We heisted. We did a heist this weekend. Heist.
I have a non-gaming what you're playing question for you. I just remembered.
Okay,
I wanted to ask you.
and then we played. Do you want to ask right now, or do you want me to?
No, I just remembered.
Okay, we'll ask after this.
Yeah.
We also played. We'll talk about Sumo
Oh God. All
because
right.
that's in release. If you guys
Let's talk about that real quick because yeah, it was not good. That was not that fun. It was one of those things I could see being fun with more people, but we did not have a lot of people, and
no one was playing.
Yeah, nobody was playing it.
So we didn't do a glitch pitch last week because the Sumo mode came out, which there's a new adversary mode that came out this week.
Was there another one?
Yeah, it's like it's basically a race, but you have to keep close to each other. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really look into it much. But their Sumo mode was basically you're on a small enclosed area. You have cars. You have to hit each other off. Last one standing wins. Logically, sounds great. Makes sense. When we were playing, it's supposed to be 8 players, and there were literally only 3 of us.
Yeah.
And it was teams. And
Yeah.
it was annoying as hell.
Awful. Just did not work out like we thought it would. I think was part of it. So yeah, it was less than enjoyable for us. But
So that happened.
That
Just
happened.
wanted to bring that up. Yes, you win some and you lose some.
yeah, that was really we took a gamble on that whole that working out, and it did not work out for us.
Well, they also released other stuff too, but we don't have money in the game, so we couldn't check
Yeah,
out. the
and
price.
I'm not spending fucking real money on GTA. That's where I
Did you
draw-
know like the yachts are like 100 and some odd bucks?
Yeah, like
How
if you
much?
spend actual money on them. Yeah, I did
So
know
it's
that.
10 million.
Yeah, that's why That's what I was referring to. Like fuck that. I'm not spending real money on that.
It's crazy. All right, so what was that real non-gaming question you had to ask me
So-
besides not about my sex life? Please, thank you.
No problem. PlayStation VR.
Uh-huh.
You have a PlayStation 4.
I do.
What do you think about the price tag and the pre-orders for PlayStation VR? First off, are you interested in PlayStation VR in the slightest?
Honestly, I saw it was out. I didn't even read it because I refuse to be an early adapter for VR. Despite the
Okay.
fact that I got this VR kit, which is Samsung VR,
Yeah, you got that
which
with your phone,
essentially
though.
was a plus on my phone.
Yeah.
I got it for the phone mostly. It was just an added bonus.
Right.
I refuse to be an early adapter for VR because I feel like VR is too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, and I feel like there's not enough games, and I think the second generation is going to be the generation that I want to pick up. that might change at PAX because we'll probably see a lot of VR.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, and that's why I didn't even see VR. VR is $400. Maybe if I'm feeling Gallant in a year and a half, I don't know. I just
Is that the word?
I don't think I know Gallant. It doesn't make sense at all.
Is that the right word?
Maybe if I'm feeling
Rich?
yeah,
Yeah, like
this maybe I'm feeling like money bags.
flush with cash.
Honestly, I probably could buy it if I really wanted to, but I don't want to be an early adapter for VR right now because I don't think it's at a great place for first launch.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always bought systems usually when they're getting close to their second run, when they've got all of the bugs out, when things are a little bit smoother. VR is a whole new environment
Mm-hmm.
that we're facing as gamers, and it's a lot of great showmanship stuff. But until I kind of see what's going on, like I don't like the argument people have made of like, hey, that VR is not that bad because anything with this type of dev kit can be played on VR. Like you can do anything with DirectX. And um, I'm like, I want to play a great experience that makes it worth it. Yes, VR gives me that first person view, but it's not enough to make me sit here and be like, damn, I really need VR right now.
Right.
And I guess I think that's mostly stems from the fact that I bought a Kinect
Oh.
and I just got burnt by it.
Yeah, that was your first problem.
Because the Kinect could have been great. Just like VR can really be great. But if they're not doing it the right way or they're pursuing certain things that I don't really support, like
Yeah.
a lot of the VR stuff I'm seeing is the same stuff they used on Kinect.
Right.
So
Yeah, the same kind of gimmicks.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just honestly I'm kind of cool. VR looks really cool. That looks really fun. But it right now it just seems very early. We have 30 games. They're all the same type of VR demos. And I want to see really I want them to make me sit here and be like, "Damn, I can't play Fallout unless I have VR."
Sure.
And right now I'm not feeling that. So,
What about the price, though? I mean, do you think it's cheaper than all of the PC options? It's cheaper than the Rift and the Vive. Is that? Do you think that's going to be a huge deciding factor for people who already
well,
have a PS4
that's the thing.
and, for example, and have a PC?
No, that's the thing is that you have to assume that I can't look at that price and say that it's $400, it's $800
Mm-hmm.
because you need like it's PlayStation, so you have to have the console. I have the console, it's a discount, but I still paid $400 for this console.
Right. It's a different investment.
So it's an $800, which is the same price as everything else.
That is the
You're
point.
just not spending the $3,000 on a PC versus you would spend the $400 on a PlayStation 4.
Sure,
Because
but look at the
that's
device.
the
The
vibe.
device itself is cheaper than the other two device options, which require even more of an investment.
Right. Right. No, that's totally true.
You know, a huge
I
video card and a good rig to play a VR game versus just the console. I I
do
think
you need a camera for it too?
they do. One of
The
the
camera's sold separately too.
Well, one of the interesting things is that they announced immediately after that a VR bundle that gives you the camera and two PlayStation Move controllers for $100 basically extra.
$500.
Right, $100 more than the base. Which if you don't have the camera already,
Which no one has the camera.
not a lot of people do.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty damn good deal. And the Move controllers as well. If you didn't own the Move controllers before, then that's a huge thing because I think each of them are $50 each, and you want two of those.
You're still buying essentially a new console though.
Essentially, yeah.
That's essentially it's a new console, and once again, I don't have enough faith in the VR, in what VR is right now. Like the only thing I think we can argue that was what you saw last year was Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous felt like a full game that essentially is, yeah, you could play it with other systems, but it makes sense on VR.
I think there were two things I played on VR that sold me on VR, the concept, and that was Elite Dangerous as well as Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
But Keep Talking.
But that was the VR experience versus,
yeah,
like you said, the VR kind of as a technology.
But I would argue Keep Talking and No One Explodes you can play on your computer as well.
Oh yeah,
like,
and we did. That's
Yeah, and
how I
yes, the
played it.
VR makes it a little bit better, but Elite Dangerous, from what I said, you basically said, yeah, you can't really play it without VR.
That is true.
And we don't have enough on there for me. It's the same excuse as the Wii U for me right now. And I'm very, if
Despite
I had a
having enough
lot of
stuff, but
money,
not enough
yeah,
cohesive things to play.
I'm not going to spend $500 to play one game.
True.
That's
That's
my
true.
that's my line. I don't have the money. I'm not the type of gamer. I can't justify that right now. And I've gotten burned in the past by saying, "Wow, this is very gimmicky. You got me."
Hmm.
I'm not an early adapter. I'm not someone who has faith in it, and that's just personally who I am. I need to sit and see, and I need to see now that the devs heavily finally have it in their hands when they go from this, "Hey, this is a cool toy. Let's make a simulator game," to let's figure out how to take this classic gaming experience and create these VR elements that enhance it in a way that's going to make people really enjoy it. And
Did
we
you
haven't really gotten there yet.
did you see? This is tangential, but did you see the interview in, I think, PC Gamer with William Pugh from the guy who made
My answer is no.
Stanley
Please tell me
Parable?
about it.
Yes, and Justin Roiland, the creator of like Rick and Morty, and those
I
shows.
did not see it. Please tell me about it.
They sat down and developed a VR game. Justin Roiland fell in love with VR. He wanted to
Mhm.
make a game. He wanted to make something for VR, and and William Pugh wanted to help. So they built um, what they're calling the ultimate VR experience. They built spreadsheets, virtual spreadsheets, VR spreadsheet simulator. It is the most ridiculous and perfect thing I've ever seen someone do with VR.
So you're just telling me this because it's kind of a satirical mockery of
Here's
current VR.
here's the problem. It's Justin Roiland and William Pugh. If you don't know Justin
I know who
Roiland's
they are. I know.
like his sense of humor, you can't tell if the article is serious or not. It's like a 4-page interview with them about this is what's going to sell VR is office experiences and being able to sit down in an office chair and do your spreadsheets in VR. I think it was a joke. I still haven't. The jury's still out, but they built a Microsoft Excel essentially into VR, into the
Well,
Vive.
here's the thing too about VR though, is that I'm looking at it purely from a gaming aspect. I think VR is going to really take off, as we talked about this before, in a non-conventional gaming. Like I know VR is all about game, but like you said, the Vive could be a, hey dad, I'm calling you because I need to fix this part on my car or my
Oh,
computer.
that was yeah,
Show me how to do it. Or hey, we're going to simulate how to perform surgery
sure.
because we're using these cool gloves. And so here's a simulation of surgery, and here's kind of like which they already kind of do. It's like, here's a heart attack. How do you deal with it? Do the steps, like a classroom atmosphere.
Right.
VR is going to really take off with that because it's going to allow people to really influence technology. And I hope the government, I hope these medical things are looking into it in a private sector and taking care of it because that's really going to be helpful. It's going to minimize costs in the long run from all of the tech stuff, and it's going to do great. Gaming is just so difficult because, yes, I think gaming could be really interesting in terms of surgeon simulator or stuff like that, but it needs to move beyond that and really sit here, and developers need to, they have this shell, I think, of VR right now, and I'm gesturing. They have this shell of here's VR, and it has this soft shell on it, and they're like, wow, there's so much cool stuff that VR does. We can see the full 360 up down view of everything. That's really cool. Let's try to explore that. And then once they kind of settle with that, and they're like, okay, we know what to do, they're going to break out of that shell, and we're going to see some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get locked into this whole connect where it's like, hey, we're reading your body and you're dancing. Like, I really want.
And that's all that's all it
That's
does.
all it is. Yeah, or it's like your hand and you're shooting with your hand, and that's it. Like, if they can find really unique stuff, like I saw there's a full VR kind of tactical range that someone created where they have their guns and they're kind of moving around this area, or like they're exploring these rooms. If they can find a way to kind of push beyond that barrier and then introduce unique gameplay that really takes advantage of this whole immersive experience, whatever that is, then I think that can do well. I don't know how that's going to happen. Like, because it seems like VR could be limited in that. You think it's an unlimited technology, but VR really is all about looking around and seeing everything from different angles.
Right.
So what can you do to take advantage of that and also push beyond that? I don't know. I think developers need to explore that before I ever would consider investing in it. And maybe now is the perfect opportunity for them to do that. And it wasn't a few years ago when they had a camera and controllers.
Sure.
Maybe this camera, face camera, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we're gonna do now. Maybe this is it. But I also kind of am tentative because of that. I didn't realize I was tentative till I started talking. I'm afraid that we're never gonna break out of that egg and it's gonna be gimmicky and that's it. And that really scares me.
Because
And that's why I
you
would
like
not.
the concept of VR.
I think it's a good direction to go for gaming. I think it's good to explore these types of kind of going beyond the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hesitant and I'm worried because I think people and developers get caught in fads and the simple fad of, hey, you're playing Factorio. Here's, you can look around and you can have it a complete circle and you're standing in the factory and you can see everything and that's kind of it. It's still the same game. You just can look around.
Sure.
That concerns me a little bit. And until I really see the launch and I see how early adapters react to it and I see how developers adjust to that, I don't think I would, if it was $10 or I got one for free, I'd take one for free, but I don't think I really could explore it outside of that.
Yeah, Oculus and Vive, if you want to send us one and change our minds, we'll take it.
I would love to explore it and talk about it. It's just right now it feels rushed
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't really heard any cool things by developers besides Assassin's Creed Eagle Simulator or Job Simulator or Keep Talking and No One Explodes, which you can play, like games that you can that look cool, but you can still play without it, so
Right.
no one's really hurt from
it's
it.
not necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like 3DS, the 3D function of the 3DS.
Yes, it is. I'm with you on
know?
that. Yeah.
Like they need to break beyond that and really make me sit here and think, yes, I need that.
Yeah, and especially with the 3DS, where that's something I don't even turn on half the time. In fact, most of the time with my 3DS, I don't have that on.
The only time I turn it on is when there's an anime scene in Fire Emblem.
That's me too. It's the only time I do. Same here.
And I'm like, oh, those birds look great.
I better watch this scene because they took all this time to animate it.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't want to see it flat. I want to see 3D on this, but everything else just feels awkward and clunky. And it's not like there's, like, I guess I kind of did it with Zelda, but even Zelda was kind of like, it was nothing. It's supplementary.
Sure. Yeah, it's not primary need. It's
So
really
I kind of went on
secondary.
my rant. Do you want to provide your rant for how you feel about VR?
I'm excited for it. I'm going to be the second gen. I'm definitely going to be on the second gen train.
I think that I'm
Not
going
the
to look
first
up my
gen.
term. I'm really bad.
But not early adapters, but
It's not laggards. It's, oh no, I got this. It's early adopters. You're going to be an early adopter before the majority.
yes.
They say it here. It's innovators. It's innovators, which are tech enthusiasts.
Yeah,
Then
that's not
early
me.
adopters, which are visionaries, and then early majority.
Early
is
majority. It's probably
next.
what I'll be.
Yeah,
Once
might be
once I
early
see that
majority too.
first good commercial release. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'll still be a little hesitant. I think I'll be early, like a little bit to the end of the early majority, but I won't be late because I'm not really
Right.
conservative. Because I know, like, I just want to get that feeling of, yes, this is going to last.
Right.
This is something that's going to maintain. Because a lot of these things, like I said, the Kinect, the 3D, PlayStation Eye, PlayStation Move, a lot of them were cool, but they never really stuck in terms of every developer was using them.
Right. Only yeah, you saw some of the niche developers using them, but not in the widespread that
Yeah.
everyone else was.
Or maybe a price drop.
Or maybe a price drop. Yeah,
Price drop.
if they offered, the second gen was, $200 or $300 for VR, I would probably jump on that. If I could pick up a Vive for, 300, 400, 500 even maybe at the most.
I was like maybe 500 at the
Ma-
least.
Yeah. Then I
Or
would.
maybe like the simple kit, like not the elite kit, but more of a,
Really, I just want a decent headset. Like I don't need the full room tracking thing. I'm not.
Right.
I don't even know if I do the motion that much. I'm excited for something that I can just put on my head and go.
kind of like the starter PC, where you're sitting there like,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $2,000 on a PC because I don't know how far I'm going to go, and I'd love to upgrade later. But you're sitting there and like, I want the headset, and then eventually I'll buy the two trackpads, or I'll buy another hand controller, or I'll do
Exactly.
whatever. Just options. Right now, it is very much here's the big bundle everyone needs.
Exactly that. Yes.
And so and I've been the type of person like I didn't upgrade from my PlayStation 2 to an Xbox 360 until like right before they actually introduced the Slim.
Yeah, I mean, it took
So,
someone buying me an Xbox One to upgrade to the Xbox One.
which I think that would make me an early majority because that's right before the price drop, which a lot of late adapters jump in on with the
right.
price drop. So I don't know. We'll see. I might be singing a completely different tune after PAX because PAX I think is going to be the VR demos and just kind of getting
Yes,
opinions from
it
people,
will.
all that stuff.
Yes, it will. Can
So
guarantee that.
yeah, so I think I think we both agree that we would not drop money right now
Not right now.
unless they paid us or gave it to us.
Unless they get,
I
we're not
wouldn't
gonna.
say
No, again,
no.
we won't drop money on it. But if they handed one to us, I will not say no.
I won't say no.
As bad as
But
that sounds.
I don't know. I don't know what exactly is going to be my tipping point for it. I think there's a lot of factors, but I think it's mostly comfort. I need to be comfortable with the idea I'm spending money on an investment.
Sure.
And like I said, still haven't done that with the Wii U. So
Hmm.
if I haven't done it with the Wii U, I doubt I would do it. I need to know that I'm investing in a bunch of games and I'm not just buying a Netflix machine,
Yeah.
which by the way, not great for Netflix.
Wii U.
No, the my VR system
Oh.
because it like if you're laying down, it doesn't adjust. You have to sit up and watch stuff.
Well, you're in luck because Pornhub just announced a VR site.
I still have to sit
Pure,
and watch it. I
a
can't
pure
lay in
VR
bed and
channel.
watch stuff. It doesn't put the video on the ceiling. It has to be in the front and it doesn't adjust for the ceiling. Like I just want to lay in bed and just put my head up and just be like, "Oh, Netflix." But I can't do that.
See, that's interesting to me because I feel like that would be that's the whole idea of the second screen thing or the virtual screen thing. So I
The
saw
thing
something
is
with
that
Oculus where or maybe no, it was Vive that one of their built-in features is the like, Steam Big Picture, not Big Picture, but VR Picture or something, where basically you can play non-VR games in VR by basically putting a screen in a virtual space.
right,
Um,
which is great. It works. That's what I do for Netflix. The problem is that it's literally like it reads
I
how you're
right.
sitting
I think the
because of
idea
the
was the second that you can be able to move that around, then it will be good.
Oh yeah,
That's the
I
point.
mean, no, I totally agree that the issue is it needs to know your location and it's smart enough to kind of adjust depending on which way you're sitting, like if you move and it's
Well,
like
you
it
should be able
adjusts
to.
it.
You basically
But
just need to be able to reposition the camera.
yeah, but you can't it doesn't understand like it thinks you're still looking up.
Hmm.
So, it's frustrating because I just want to lay in bed and watch Netflix or Twitch. I can watch Twitch on it too. But it's fun. I mean, it's gimmicky
It is
at the
gimmicky.
end of the day. I played it a little bit and that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's very gimmicky. It's cool to sit there and to be able to watch stuff, but then my eyes start hurting because I have the no scratch screen, which actually makes it a little blurry.
Hmm.
And it's at the end of the day, it's fun, but I didn't spend any money on it because I got it for free for my phone, and I
Right.
probably wouldn't have spent money on it at this point in time.
Right.
So, all right, well, that's about it. I think it's about time to kind of wrap it up.
Sure.
And
Um.
you're probably going to keep playing Factorio after
Yes, I
this.
am. I'm probably going to stream this for a while afterwards.
That's fine. We can turn it off and you can do a Factorio stream on Glitchfeed after show.
That's probably what I'll do.
So guys, we finished up a campaign for shirts.
We did. We finished the first campaign.
Apparently, there's more.
Well, no. So Teespring allows you to just relaunch campaigns. So we're just gonna have that one keep going, and every 2 weeks, if people order them, then they will ship. Um, but we hit the big one hit. We had a bunch of shirts ordered, which is cool. So we just ordered our camera for PAX, so that's official. Um,
Did you request a preview key for binaries?
nope, never heard of
Huh.
it.
You got a free key from someone.
Okay. Anyways, um, So we're gonna keep we're gonna be producing more content now that we got a nice rig, and we'll be at PAX next month and RTX in a couple months from that, and we'll have some really cool live content. So thank you guys to anyone who did buy a shirt. If you're still haven't,
Did anyone buy a shirt?
Yeah, people bought shirts.
How many shirts did we sell?
8.
What?
We sold 8 shirts.
Wow, I bought 2 and you bought 2, right?
I bought 4.
You bought 4. Okay, someone bought 2 people.
So we sold 2 shirts.
Yes.
Not 2 ourselves.
I actually bought, they have female cuts, but I got a male tank top because I was like, I don't really want a tight tank top.
That's fair.
I like the racerback or whatever.
Tank tops?
Racerback?
You like those?
I don't know. I liked the
like
male
those.
cut a little bit better.
Oh yeah, that was the only kind. They only had those racerbacks for women.
I don't mind. It's cool.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever. It's better than the tight women's shirt because then the lettering will all rip apart and it'll look weird.
That is true. I understand that.
All right. Well, anyways, if you guys want to check that out, we'll probably be tweeting about it. You can check it at the end of our videos.
Yep.
The link.
Yep.
You can be part of the crew.
Whatever.
You know, or whatever.
Where it's at. You'll know. You'll find
It's somewhere. There's things going on.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for us, I think, for today.
March 30th through April 6th. That's not bad for delivery date.
I forgot what else. How do we end these?
So you guys, if you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on Twitter at Glitchfeed. You can check us out on our daily glitch, which is usually once every day during the week. You also can keep an eye out on here. Sometimes we do streams. We mostly do our podcast. So feel free to follow and be alerted anytime we go live every other Wednesday, which we announce on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we will see you guys tomorrow for another Glitch Feed.
Daily
Glitch. Glitch Feed Daily Glitch. That's the product versus the company.
Yep.
Otherwise, thanks guys as always for watching.
Yay.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hang on, I actually have to stop the stream.